Hi everyone, I have a story of a 19-year-old from Sacramento that went missing after she was laid off from Home Depot. That story is coming up in just a sec. Hi everyone, this is Jerrie Dean from Missing Persons of America. This story about this teen that went missing from Sacramento is coming out a little bit at a time. We're finding out more and more information. But I've told you a lot of stories in the past where the police department haven't been that aggressive of looking for a missing person. And this is one of those stories. So let me lay it out for you and you can see what I'm talking about. This has also affected me a lot because I feel that it's a good, strong possibility that the police department in Sacramento has let this family down. And usually I try to give you the facts and leave out my own personal feelings, but this one, something is not right. So let me start. It's Veta Belford. She was 19 years old. She's graduated from high school. She's working. She is going to her church and volunteering with the youth on Sunday. And on October 17th, she was dropped off at work by her dad. And she lives with her parents and her two other sisters. And she was dropped off at work. And then later on in the evening, her mom went to pick her up and she didn't come out. She wasn't there waiting for her and she didn't come out shortly after. Now, Vita's mom's name is Agnes Kaitiona, and she has been posting her story. But first, let me tell you that she went to pick up her daughter around 11:30 at Home Depot and she was not there. So she went inside Home Depot, talked with the manager, and found out that her daughter had been laid off earlier that day. Now, what is so strange about the story is you would think that Vita would have called her parents to tell them what happened to come back and pick her up, but there was nothing heard from her. So the parents began calling her and she was not answering her phone. They didn't know where she was, and her mom, first thing she did was call the Sacramento Police Department and report that Vita was missing, and that was on October 18th. Now, according to the sister, security footage was found that showed Vita walking away from the parking lot, the Home Depot parking lot, around 3:45 p.m. And looking up at the map, you can see where the Home Depot is on the Truxell Road. And she was heading towards the AT&T and Applebee's in the Natomas Marketplace area. And you can see that map up there. It shows you where she was at. Now you can see that this is all shops and stores in this area. And you would think there would be a lot of footage that would pick her up going around in that area and at least see if somebody stopped and picked her up and took her out of that area or something. But there has been no footage that's brought forward. So Agnes, she went to these stores herself and she asked if she could have the footage, and the stores would not give her the footage. Now, Vita, it's very strange, but they're saying, the family's saying that the phone was turned off. Now, Vita has her cell phone and she always carries a charger with her so she could plug it in and charge it up at all times. And they believed she had her charger and phone with her, but it is turned off, as the family is saying, and she's not answering it. We don't know what's going on with this phone. Now, I don't think anything has been done to get the tolls from that phone or to even locate her from that phone. I don't believe there's anything that's been done with that at all. Nothing's come out from the police that they've done any of this. Now, I did some more research and was digging and digging to find out more. And I found a post that stated they heard about Vita's disappearance and they decided to contact Vita's mom. And the big shout out to the person that did that, because now we're finding out that Vita's mom really needed some help. The family needed help with this case because the time was clicking by. And according to Vita's mom, she'd followed the report, but no one called her back. The Sacramento Police Department, was several days went by before they even called her back to take and get more information from her about what happened with Vita's disappearance. Now, I really don't understand why it would take 3 days for them to call her to get this information. I've seen this happen before. I've seen police departments take their time. It's as though they look at the case and they go, oh, well, this person is an adult and they walked away on their own and there's nothing here. There's no foul play. And they take their time getting back to the family, getting more information. Very valuable time that they should be taking. But back to the person that reached out to Vita's mom. They said that Actonese filed a missing report on October 18th, as I said before. And I think it's absolutely unforgettable, and it makes me angry that this police department would think it's okay to wait several days to contact the family. It does not make any sense to me why they would do that. I know that a lot of people believe that missing person reports are handled like they are on TV, that when the police get the report, they rush out there, they start searching immediately, they get tracking dogs, and they do everything they can to find this person. But it's not, it doesn't happen that way. It's different with each police department. Some are right on, they get out there and they search. Others take time before they get back to you, maybe a day, and then they get back to you, and then they get the case and they start searching. And then there are police departments like this one that wait 3 days, and then even if they do respond to you, some police departments will say, well, I don't see any signs of foul play, so just wait, they'll be home. Now, this police in Sacramento are stating that they need a warrant to pursue this case. They say they need a warrant to get the videos from the businesses in that area where they saw Vita walking. They say that their hands are tied to do any more. I'm sure, I haven't heard anything about the phones, the cell phone records or the tolls, but I'm sure they're saying the same thing, that, oh, we got to get a warrant for this, so we have to wait for that, but we don't see any foul play, so we really can't get a warrant. And as far as getting the information for the cell phone company, it's not that difficult for law enforcement to do. It's a form, it's a agreement between the cell phone company and the federal government, and I'm assuming the police department. I know for a fact with the federal government, but I'm thinking that also it's with the police department. You fill out this standard form, you put in the tolls that you want for this, and you fax it over to them, and they take 1 to 2 days to get back to you with this information. As long as you're not asking for really extensive background for 2 or 3 months, if you're asking for just like a week's back, they can get it back to you in very quickly, in a day or two, and they can give you the information that you need. So I really don't understand why the Sacramento Police Department is saying they can't get this information when there's already agreement that they can do this when they want this information. I just don't understand how anyone could justify a police department that is making a family, a distraught family, worried sick about their child, make them wait until they get around to calling them back. It should be a priority to get the information from the family so they can start looking and putting this information into NCIC, which should be required by all police departments to put the information in NCIC, because NCIC is what alerts all the other police departments around where this person went missing. So if she happens to get stopped a few towns over, they can look at the NCIC and they can see, oh, they're looking for her. But if they don't do this, if she's found and they let her go, no one knows that she was spotted and talked to, and then she was let go. No one knows where she's at. They have no direction to go to. So it's such an easy freaking thing to do, to put her name into NCIC. I did find out that through the family that they posted that they do have a private investigator in this case now helping them, which I'm really happy to see that they did pursue getting a private investigator, because hopefully they can do the steps. But if the Sacramento Police Department doesn't want to cooperate with the private investigator is not going to get very far. But we'll see what happens on that. Now, what's even more frustrating is that the Sacramento Police Department, according to the family, won't let them look at the Home Depot surveillance video that they have of Veta leaving Home Depot. They will not let them look at it, according to the family. Now, I don't understand this. I know on this other case with Alan White that went missing, the family was allowed to see the video. They were allowed to look at it. They were allowed to share it. So why can Alan White's family and friends share this information, but in Sacramento, the Belford family can't? I don't understand this at all. Now, Arcanese, Veta's mom, she spoke to some of the employees. She and the family, the sisters, and everything, been going over to the Home Depot parking lot, going over the Applebee's, going over the AT&T, and they have been searching and searching every single day for Veta, trying to find some kind of tips or something. And that's when they found out that the stores around there would not allow them to look at any video or give them any video. Now, this was also strange to me too. Now, maybe some legal thing, but in the past when I was searching for a missing person and I would go to like a fast food place and I would ask them, well, I had a pretty good idea that this person had gone into this place, and asked them if they seen the person and they recognized the person, and then they took me to the back and they showed me the video. And this has happened more than once. And that was all right. There was no legal problem there. I didn't take the video with me, but I was able to look at the video and see, yeah, she was actually there, which narrowed down the timeline. So I don't know why this family is getting nothing but no's all the way around. I don't understand this. Now, Arcanese, I've started this before and I got sidetracked, but Arcanese said that she spoke with Home Depot employees and they said that Veta may have been fired instead of laid off. And that they were also saying that the manner that she was laid off, fired, was strange to them. They thought the whole situation was strange. So she was sharing that with others so they would know what was going on there. So this is a very, very bewildering case. There doesn't seem to be any reason whatsoever that Veta would just walk off after being laid off. We have to believe that's the way it happened because that's what the manager said. I'm not going to think that Veta just quit because the manager would have said that she just quit. So if she was laid off, regardless of the circumstances, I'm sure that she was probably upset about this. Now, Veta was also going to school and she was working too. So if this happened to her, she may have never had this experience before and was very upset about it. Maybe she decided to walk around the shopping center to think about what happened, maybe to go back to her parents and tell them what happened, and try to figure out how to share it with them. She might have felt some shame over this and didn't quite know how to tell them, so decided to take that time before her mother showed up to talk to him. But her mother wasn't showing up till 11:30 in the evening. So all the stores would have been closed around 9 o'clock. So for her to be walking around all the way to 11:30 makes no sense. There would have been her out there alone in the evening when all the stores were closed. Now, is it possible that she did decide to stay there till the evening when all the stores were closed and the parking lot was empty, and she ran across somebody that put her into a car and they drove off? I don't know. We're not going to know anything until the surveillance videos around this shopping mall are all looked at and we can find out where she went. Now, if you have a police department that says they need a warrant for all this stuff, the days are just ticking away. I don't understand why they don't feel that getting those surveillance videos to actually find out for sure what happened to them, why they don't think that's important. I'm sure if they went to a judge and they said, and I'm saying the police department, it was necessary for them to go to a judge. In some cases, I don't know if they have to or not, or if they could just put a form through like you do with the subscriber information. But if they went to a judge and asked for this information, I can't see a judge denying this. They have to have the correct information to get an okay for a judge. And the fact that she hasn't been seen, now we're going on 2 weeks. She hasn't called, her phone's turned off. She was living with her family. She didn't have a vehicle, and all these things I would think would easily get an okay from a judge to get a warrant so they can go and get those videos. And as this time is going by, you know, they record over the top of those videos at these shopping centers. And if they don't hurry up, those videos are not going to be there anymore. So at least they should be doing is going over there and say, look, we don't have a warrant yet, but if you could be nice enough to pull that day and not record over it, it'd be helpful to us so we can come back later and get it when we do get a warrant. But I don't think they've gone to talk to anybody at all. If you have the family that's over there every single day looking for her and they don't see the police over there looking for her, I'm bewildered by all of this. I mean, I've seen some stories before about some crazy stuff that seems for sure that's foul play to me, and the police department decide, well, it's not foul play, or they don't believe the parents or the husband or the wife that the person would have just walk off. They don't take the family's word for it. They go by what they think it is. And many, many times they're wrong. They're wrong. And then when they finally are convinced that they're wrong and they pursue the case, by the time they get around to it, the person is found deceased. This is terrible, and the whole system should be gone over. There should be a standard for a missing person for every single police department out there. And why there's no standard, I don't know. Every department handles the cases differently. I don't know why there's not a standard put in place and everybody follows it. There are a lot of good police departments, and they don't consider foul play, and they pursue a case, every single one, regardless of what they think. They don't put their personal opinion into it. They just investigate it. And that's why I'm mad about this case, is they have taken their own personal feelings and what they think happened to Veta, and they meshed it into this case instead of looking at it analytically and moving forward analytically and investigating this case analytically and finding out what happened to her. All right. That is it. I'm stepping off of my soapbox, but we've gone over the details on this case. But let me give you a description of Veta. She is 5'4", weighs 215 pounds. She's 19 years old, brown eyes and black hair, and she's Polynesian. She was wearing a brownish orange striped flannel shirt, denim pants, a rainbow ring, and a small crossbody bag. And that's the other thing that I want to bring up. No change of clothes. She didn't have anything else with her where she could put on a change of clothes. I don't even think she had a toothbrush. So I don't understand this. All right. Veta is a full-time student in Sacramento State. I don't know if they're in session right now or if they're doing online classes, but I'm sure they're doing something like that. So she's missing out on her classes right now. So that is awful strange. All right. Sacramento Police is urging, good. They're urging anyone with information regarding Veta to contact them at 916-308-5471. There's been media stories, and it has been picked up by the media. There's several outlets that have posted information about her disappearance. So hopefully those keep getting pushed out there so that the people that are local to that area will see the story, and maybe they will recall seeing her at that shopping mall. So if you were there on that day, October 17th, and you happen to see Veta, please look at her picture. If you happen to see Veta over there, please call the police department. I mean, you can call the sisters, you can call the mother on all the flyers. Their number is on there. You can talk to them directly if you want to. And if you have any information of time that you saw her would be very, very helpful. I mean, especially if you happen to see her when you were maybe leaving the store when it was closing, and you were going to your car and you happen to see her sitting somewhere or standing somewhere. That would be very helpful. That at least would let them know how long she was at the shopping center, or if she just walked through the shopping center and just kept walking to another area. There is also, I believe, some walking trails, and there's neighborhoods. So reaching out to anybody that's in that area that would have spotted her, and see if we can't get a timeline on when she was last seen and where she might be heading, what direction she was going. All right, that's it. I'm getting off my soapbox now, and I appreciate you guys listening. But sometimes I get really frustrated. I try to stay even keel on these, but I'm really frustrated with this case, and I'm really worried about Veta, and hopefully something will happen. Somebody will see this story and it'll remind them that they did see her, and call the family and let them know. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for listening. See you soon.